In this video, I'm going to show you how to attract more high quality clients to your gym or studio so that you can grow even in 2025 when consumer confidence and trust is at one of the all-time lows. And this is one of the foundational principles that has allowed my 4 original gyms to sign up 405 new members in the first 5 months of 2025. And we do this through content. Now, the first thing that you need to understand about content for your gym or your studio is that your content isn't designed to drive a bunch of leads. We're going to do that with your paid ads. The purpose is to build brand, trust, and authority so that your paid ads perform better and that your sales are easier, because good marketing makes for easy sales and bad marketing makes for hard sales where you have to convince people to join your gym or your studio. And leading up to 2025, we've been lucky as gym owners. We've been able to build a successful business without needing content. But that is changing. It's changing fast. And if you don't start producing content for your gym or your studio, you're going to quickly get left behind. Now, this is video 4 in a 6-part video series where I'm showing you how to scale to consistent 20 new member months. Now, in the first video in this series, we talked about consumer confidence being at a 10-year low and interpersonal trust being at a 40-year low. So if you want to be successful, you need to earn back that trust with your local community. And the way that you do this is with content. Now, how do we do this? Here is what I call the content funnel. Now, there's 3 levels of this funnel. There's the top of the funnel, there is the middle of the funnel, and there is the bottom of the funnel. Now, at the top of the funnel, this is going to be where you produce reels every single day. You produce 3 types of reels, depending on what you enjoy and resonates with your gym or your studio. Reels based on value, based on entertainment, or inspiring style reels. And the goal with your daily reels is to gain reach and to gain followers. You're putting that out into the world and you're trying to attract people to your gym or your studio through your reels and your content. Then below that, we have what we call the middle of the funnel. Now, this is primarily where you're going to produce your daily stories. Now, we're also going to optimize your profile. We're going to have a few pin posts, but your stories are going to produce lots of social proof, lots of connection, because now, if you think about it, people that see your stories, these are people that follow you. So they've already shown a little bit of interest in what you do at your gym or your studio. But here we build massive know and trust because stories are so raw and authentic. Now, the top of the funnel and the middle of the funnel, this is going to get you 98% of the way there. Now, there is a bottom of the funnel strategies where we can have call to action posts, challenges, etc., with the purpose of converting your followers into clients. However, what I have found is paid ads is a much better strategy for the conversion process, and I'll show you why in a few slides. So let's walk through and break down each of these levels of the funnel in a little bit more detail so that you know exactly how you can start producing content for your gym or your studio to attract high quality clients, which you can eventually turn into more members for your gym. Now, at that top of the funnel, the purpose of posting reels is to gain reach and to gain followers, because approximately 50% or more of the people who see your reels, they're going to be non-followers. That's the way that the algorithm works in 2025. And that's a good thing, because people that don't follow you are still going to see your content. And that's how you're putting yourself out there and you start to attract people in your local community. Now, I have found there's 3 styles of content that seems to work best for gym and studio owners. Number 1 is value. This is where you would be sharing value, teaching something, tips, hacks, etc. For example, maybe you're three ways to get more protein, or maybe you're going to deliver a meal plan, or the 5 best exercises for fat loss, where something where you are just delivering value to your community. Number 2 is entertaining style posts. This is where you'd be creating entertaining or fun content. Think TikTok. Now, there's a bit of a caveat with entertaining, and it's probably my least favorite of the 3, but some people do enjoy doing it. But the one thing that you need to be careful of is if you do create entertaining style content, make sure that it resonates with your avatar. Something that I see often is maybe people's avatar in their gym is women 40 to 60, for example, but they like to create these like fun TikTok videos, and a woman who's 40 to 60, they're not going to really get it, understand it, or maybe even like it. So you and your team might like producing this entertaining style content, but it's not going to resonate with your clients. So that's the caveat with entertaining. If you are going to make entertaining style content, make sure that it's something that your avatar would resonate with and enjoy. Now, number three, which is my favorite, is inspiring content. And this is where you're going to create content that is really motivational to your audience. The reason that I like this is because it's the simplest to create. Now, what all you need to do is you'll be sharing clips of your clients working out. Then you attach some inspiring or motivational music to it. Maybe you add some captions over top. And just like that, you easily have inspiring content. And I find that it's the easiest to create. But at the end of the day, you do you. You do what you like to produce, what your team likes to produce, but ultimately also what resonates with your avatar. So those are the three styles of content that you can create. But at the end of the day, the goal is to be posting one reel every single day. And that is the top of the funnel. And again, that is just to gain reach and to try to get more followers. Now let's move down to the middle of the funnel. Now at the middle of the funnel, the goal is posting stories. And the reason we want to do this is because it builds massive trust. Now, the three things that we need to do is we're going to post our stories. We're going to optimize our profile because now people start to follow us. But so we want to optimize our profile so that we can try to mobilize as many of those followers into clients. And then we also want to make sure that we have 3 pinned posts. And I'll show you exactly how to do this. Now, first, let's start with your stories. The reason stories are so important is because they give an even closer, more raw and authentic look into your gym or your studio. When you're posting your reels, right, these are a little bit more edited. They've got the music. People know that it's not as raw and authentic. It's not as real time, but stories, those are more raw, authentic, and real time. You can just take a quick story of a client doing an exercise in your gym, or maybe it's like a quick video of a session in progress, or maybe interviewing a client, or you saying something yourself. It's just more real. And that's what really resonates with your stories. And that's what builds the most trust. The most trust comes when you are you, when you're authentic, when you're real, and showing things that are happening in real time. And that's why stories are extremely valuable. Now, I found the easiest system in order to post your stories is to post 1 to 2 stories at every single one of your workouts, your classes, your sessions. So for example, let's say that you have 3 morning sessions at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. In each of those sessions, just grab 1 to 2 stories. Just grab one client doing an exercise and another client doing an exercise, something like that. You can keep it very simple. But then when people watch your stories, they're going to see, does this feel like it's my type of gym? Are these my type of clients that are similar to me, that have similar goals? And that is the purpose of posting your stories. Now, the other thing you can do in your stories is you can post any milestones for that day. So in your gym or your studio, if you do any member celebrations, whatever that might look like, though, that's also a great place to post those, is in your stories. Now, the third part of the middle of the funnel is you want to make sure that we optimize your profile. Now, I found this profile. It's from a gym. I believe they're in Australia, and they do a really great job with their social media. But there's a few things that you want to make sure you do with your profile. Number one is you want to tell people who you help. So for example, this gym, helping time-poor Bathurst locals get fit, get strong, and feel great. So whoever you serve, that's who you want to put in there. Maybe you work with moms. Maybe you work with women 40 to 60. Maybe you work with young athletes, or maybe you work with out-of-shape dads. Whoever your avatar is at your gym, that's what you want to put in the very first thing, so that when people get to your profile, you want to let them know, hey, this is who we help. And so if they are that person, they're really going to resonate. But also if they're not that person, they're going to bounce. And you also want that. You're trying to attract the right people. You're not trying to attract everybody. You want to repel people where you're not the best fit for them. For example, in my gyms, we did serve women 40 to 60, and we helped them mainly with just general fitness, mostly weight loss. And so if there was like a 30-year-old male who wanted to add 20 pounds of muscle, like, we weren't the right fit. And I don't want that person being attracted to my studio. So you want to also make sure that you're attracting people, but also repelling people. Now, below that, you can see they have 1,000 lives transformed. So they're just sharing a little bit of social proof. You don't necessarily need to have that. But the next biggest component is having something where they can take the call to action. So whatever you do in your gym or studio to get people started, whether that's book a free consult, maybe you offer a complimentary workout, maybe it's you have a consultation call, whatever it is, put that thing there so that someone is able to take action if they land on your profile and they go, oh, this seems like the right fit for you. Now they know what to do. So that's what you can do to optimize your profile. Now, next, what you want is you want to have 3 pinned posts, specifically how to start, how we help you, and what to expect. Now, in your how to start piece of content that you're going to pin, you're just going to put in what does someone need to go do to get started. Similarly, where you had the link above in your profile, if, for example, you were like this gym where they booked a free consult, in the how to start, you're going to tell them how they can do that. So maybe it's go here, maybe it's DM you this, maybe it's whatever it is. You're just going to have a few slides that walks them through how someone can get started with you. The next is how we help you. This is where you're really going to showcase what you do in your gym or your studio. What types of workouts do you offer? Nutrition coaching, the types of clients. Those are the things that you're going to put in the how we help you so that people know what are you all about. So they now know who is the type of person that you help, and this is how we do it. And then finally, in the what to expect, this is where you're going to put a bunch of case studies or testimonials, transformations, etc. So this could be before and after pictures. This could be Google reviews, something like that, where someone can look at that and they can just see a bunch of slides. You're going to do this as a carousel post. All of these are going to be carousel posts, and you're just adding social proof. And that is a way that you're just going to be able to get people to take action when they land on your profile. So that's the middle of the funnel. Again, we want to have our 3 pinned posts. We want to optimize our profile. And then we want to be posting 1 to 2 stories at every single workout session class throughout the day. Now, finally, I'm going to move briefly to the bottom of the funnel. But if you remember the top of the funnel and the middle of the funnel with regards to content, specifically for a gym, okay, when I like to teach it, we're talking specifically for brick and mortar gyms. If you run an online business, it's different. And a lot of the strategies that work for online businesses don't necessarily work for local brick and mortar gyms. Now, the goal at the bottom of the funnel is to start to convert people into new members. And you can do this with call to action posts. Now, a call to action post is something where you're going to make a post that says, we're looking for 5 women who want to lose 13 pounds in the next 6 weeks. Comment below if you're interested. However, this is the problem with bottom of the funnel. And this is why I said that the top and the middle of the funnel is going to get you 98% of the way there. Since our audience is so small for a local brick and mortar business, I have found that you don't get tons of traction when you do these call to action posts. When you're an online business marketing to millions or hundreds of millions of people, you have a lot more eyes that see those styles of posts. When you're a local brick and mortar business, you might have less than 100 people that actually see that post. That's okay. It's just the reality of our business. So instead, what we want to do is we want to leverage our paid ads to drive the majority of our new leads, because we underestimate how many people see an ad, but they don't take action. But what they do is they click on your profile and they go and look at your content. And if you don't have content, they're not eventually going to take action. You're not building any trust. They can't see what you're all about. But if you do, you start to build trust, you build authority. Then they see, hey, this place really seems like it's my style that I would really resonate with. Then they're going to go back and either take action on that ad, or the next ad that they see, they're much more likely to take action. So your content is the foundation that makes everything else, especially your paid ads, work better. Now, in the next video in this 6-part series, I'm going to show you how we can leverage paid ads for your gym and your studio. And what I'm going to show you specifically is how we can take this content that now we start to produce and we can supercharge it for amazing results. And this style of content will allow you to eventually double the sales that you've been experiencing in your gym and your studio. Now, I have a free private community for gym owners where I help them scale to consistent 20 new member months. You can get access below. There's a link in the description. If you want to click, you can get right in there. There's a bunch of resources that I think can help you out.